Hi guys, I don't know about you, but I know about me. And as it always goes, hiya, hiya, woman know thyself. Yes, we have to know ourselves as females, as a woman, because there are so many things happening in this world, in this life, of which if you don't know yourself and know what you won't even accomplish your goals set. Well, I have set many goals for myself. The reason being, it keeps me occupied, keeps me busy, keeps me motivated, and keeps me active and physical. Keeps me alive, makes me feel alive. Um, as I always said, it takes a person with, you know, with drive to be able to and motivation to be able to reach out for what they want, because you can't be low energy and demotivated and get what you want. It doesn't work like that. And I have seen where, because I was a type of person who is very quiet, as a child growing up, I was very quiet unless troubled or bothered. If somebody bother me, pick on me, want to fight with me, then that's when you will start hearing my mouth screaming or cussing and defending myself. I don't know how other people's reaction is. Some people is very quiet, so they go quiet or they don't make a sound or whatever. No, I scream and I cry and I seek help and I ask for help. Now, guys, the hurricane came last year and mash up, mash me up good and proper, mash up my house. I mean, this is a house that, you know, I have built, labored from, is from I moved down to Westmoreland. Yeah? So it's like 16 years ago I've been working on my little house, just like how my mama always says this phrase. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child who has his own. Yeah? And that motivated her so much to go ahead and build for herself her own, of which she does to try to motivate her kids, which is me, my sister. May have a cousin that she grew that is like my sister, so we call her cousin sister. Um, that and then you have, she has siblings of which she grew because they didn't have mother and father to grow them, because they didn't know their parents, and I think my grandmother died when they were younger or was ill and had to come to Kingston to live with my mom, who was the eldest of the siblings. So, from mom's explanation of how our family came of or came about and the work that entailed, and my dad, because my dad died when I was only 18, and hearing mom's struggles and seeing her work very hard, I chose to, join into the family business and work as well. So therefore, from my dad's death and me finish, school and everything, opted out to do night studies if I was going to study further, and do my work to have my own income and my independence, of which it has proven um, challenging but rewarding, because I gain my independence, of which anytime I need to purchase something, because I work my own money, I was able to purchase whatever it is I want for myself without having to say, can I buy this? Is it okay to get this? Because I usually work my own pocket money and have it to can get it. Even when I have to travel or, go shopping and stuff, it was never a problem for me to do because I am working. So I have learned to appreciate, or appreciate love, as they say good things. The independent behavior of going out, waking up, go to work, earn your own keeps, and save your money and invest it wisely, and make things happen for you, set goals for yourself. Now, me being in Westmoreland for the past how many years, of which it's a parish of my mom's birth, of which she took my sister and I from she was pregnant with us. She was always commuting back and forth to Westmoreland because she had siblings down there, of which she said was not as fortunate as she was, because she was eldest and she got married when she was in her teenage years to my dad, who was like nearly 20 years older than her. So he was like another father figure in her life beside her original father. So she was more privileged than many of the other girls in the parish of Westmoreland, because even though her dad was from a wealthy family who owned farmlands, because the Salabis owned farmlands, my grandfather did fishing, he did building cabin houses. He was the first to initiate cabin houses in Westmoreland. So he built those houses and people could live into um, cheaply, especially if they didn't own a particular land. They could move the house to wherever they wanted to do. They could rent the land space, lease the land space, and move their houses on it. And they could still live comfortably and independently than, if they had to move in and out or whatever. No matter where they went, they always had a roof over their head. So it was a very smart and real way to let people who did not have the millions to build big concrete houses have a house to live in. Now, my mom entered Miss Westmoreland and won. And because she won Miss Westmoreland, she got more opportunity to come to Kingston and socialize it with people who could offer her better jobs to make herself more independent of her family. And then meeting my dad now, who loved her, who makes sure that she was okay, in addition to her family, her siblings in Westmoreland was okay as well. She even brought her mother into Kingston to get medical care from the doctors, and also provided for the kids that was left down there unmothered. So whether they have good behavior or bad behavior, it was still my mom and the eldest children, which she had big brothers and sisters, who she educated to help to educate the younger ones down there. So whatever parenting they got, it might not be as excellent of a mother and father, but it was some sort of parenting that made them feel more privileged because they had a sister who was well off or well to do in Kingston. She invested heavily in Westmoreland to say, Papa may have, Mama may have, but God bless the child who has their own. And she held on to that phrase all her life and passed it on to my sister and I, of which we adopted that principle to say, Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child who has their own. And that motivated us to have our own. Now, when I went to Westmoreland, I met a lot of people down there who, had different ideas of me being down in Westmoreland. They're like and these are like family members, have aunties and cousins would cuss, where you do down here? Move from down here. I have to speak Patois because they speak Patois, right? And if I speak proper English, they say me go on like me better than them, or me going on like me nice. So, sweetheart, I had to put on my studying cap and learn my patois good and proper. Not because my parents brought me up into Kingston, into an elite environment, we call it Uptown Kingston, and send me to elite Prairie International School at the time, meaning that I am better than anybody. No, they wanted us to learn what it is like, that how the lifestyle of how the people who are privileged lived, But at the same time of giving us that experience to learn how the privileged few lived, she wanted us to be strong and independent, because most of the privileged peoples are very delicate. They're not as tough and strong as, the survivor type people who survive public school, who survive no parents, because say God touch those people. When you see children without mother and father in the streets growing, and them not dead, carrying amongst them down. With a privileged child, you go leave them, and yes, carry run them over and them dead very fast. You understand? The slightest little breeze blow upon them, cold, them catch up cold and asthma, or, you know, those are children who are pampered. When my mom wanted us to be tough, she had send we out barefooted. That up until today, I would walk barefoot to be strong. So we don't get sick so easy or pop down so easy. But on learning that her passion and her love is always for the parish of her birth, after she and my dad built business and homes and stuff in Kingston for the family to reside and to earn from and to work in, she heavily invested back into her parish of Westmoreland. So when people went to her and said, "But your father have so much lands, why are you buying up lands like that?" She would, say to them, "Mind your own business." But at the same time, she would turn to me and my sister and say, "Mama may have, Papa may have, God bless the child who has their own." So there goes my story in my lesson that my mom teach. Don't sit and wait on mama dead left or papa dead left, or try kill your parents for them things. Put something together for yourself eventually. So sweetheart, unpacking up my son after my second marriage, packing up my son, because it ended up in divorce, because he's a doctor and he had to go elsewhere and he wanted to start another family elsewhere, of which I, had to accept, because that is when my little nice little serenity prayers come in. Dear Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the ability to change the things I can, and the wisdom and knowledge to know the difference between the two. So I had to say my prayers and move on. As much I was heartbroken and didn't want the marriage to end, because we know how much millions we spend on marriage, and we know when you spend the amount of money upon marriage, you can't just throw away marriage just like that. But as the Lord will have it, that one had to end, because if you're a praying person and you're praying to God to, send you your soulmate, or send you someone who will be there for you to journey through the life, because that is what is expected of us as human beings, to find an opposite sex partner to journey with, then you should put out that effort to do such, of which I did, and it was my second marriage. Did not work out, but my son and I, at the age of 10, I removed him from private school, and we moved down to Westmoreland, the parish of my mother's birth and also my ex-husband's birth, because my son's father was from Westmoreland. He's a doctor, but he's from Westmoreland. So so Westmoreland people can be well educated and taught well too. Well, sweethearts, I am down there, and I have done a lot of fundraising and activities with the people of Westmoreland. So they know me a whole lot. That I'm there, they know where I live, they know where I come from. Well, they supposedly think they know everything, because some things you keep private for your security and safety reasons. You can't let everybody know where you actually live when you do certain private things and security things and safety things. So you have to reside at certain areas, certain times, because people will watch you and stuff. And because we do fundraising and business, you can't just leave yourself vulnerable at any and any time for security reasons. Criminals will plague you. So sweetheart, me being down into the country, remembering my beginning, this is 16 years ago, when I'm still single parent. So me and my son is down there, and we started building up. We built a cabin house on Broughton, where I reside also, and we turned, my mom's house was like a guest house because it was so many rooms in there. It was so big. And to maintain it, I didn't have the funds, I didn't have the money. And mom does not take up her money and give to nobody like that. You have to work for it. Unless she consider it's a charity, she's going to do a contribution to somebody for whatever project they're doing. But she's not gonna give you money for just lay down and sleep. And then she just take up her hard-earned money. She said, no, 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 it doesn't work like that. God will not bless we. So everybody has to do something in our family. We know that from the start to get our money. We have to get up, wake up, show up, go to work, and we get our pay or our allowance. So, I set up and I had Rasta friends down the country and they built my gate down at Broughton because that's my little spot where I reside privately, It takes me away from all the noise and the hustle and bustle and everything. So they Rasta helped me put up my gate and put up my posts and my current boxes. That is 16, 17 years ago, long time ago, Rasta Shaney and I was at on the mission. And then Uncle Chiney came in and he helped me to put up my cabin house because he knew the workmen. I had the money because me always I take bank loan and I borrow and pay back little by little because when I have it, I don't have it a whole heap. And according to mom, if you're working and your credit is good, then people will lend you money and you can pay back. If you pay back your loan, you can keep borrowing and you can pay back. But she's not into that borrowing thing. So she like when you work and save your money and spend it, invest it wisely to turn over to spend it instead of keep borrowing because you have to pay this high interest. So try not to do too much borrowing and stuff. It's just not a good idea because you end up paying much more than what you would pay if you actually save the money yourself. So sweetheart, anyway, Uncle Chiney introduced me to Sonny them and some guys that knew about prof and building, and them helped me put up my wooden cabin, my 2-bedroom wooden cabin. I mean, I built my house from scratch with the help of people from the community of Little London. Yes? So I don't, stooping down and stuff, talking to you guys, kind of getting to me. My knee need a little break. But as I was saying, the people of the community people of Little London, they chipped in. They're getting money, so they will gladly do anything that you're telling them to do once you're paying them because Jamaican people and the slavery thing. Slavery done long time. We not work for that now, whatever. You have to have good friends down there who will work for you for a cheaper price or say, all right, I'm going to do this for you and you can pay me later, Miss Christina, or it's okay. You understand? So therefore, I thought, we live good with everybody and whatever. No, family member, me down there, me grow my uncle's little girl because when she ready, we had little security house set up down there because with the fundraising, like the parties down in a Broughton and, set up a little camp area and have with shows and whatever because, you had to do fundraising to make money to continue building because as mommy said, too much bank loan and around your bankruptcy. So you need to try save. When you work, you put aside a little $5,000, a little $1,000, a little $500 there, and it will add up. Every little make a muckle, every little will add up one day, And then when you get that now, you buy 2 block, 3 block, or you buy some boards, or you buy some nails, you buy some cement boards and you put together. So I am saying I accomplished those goals by doing that, and I am very proud of myself with my little wooden cabin house, of which it reminded me of when my grandpa was alive before he died, because when I went to England to study, he died, and when I came back, I was shattered to know that he wasn't even there when I decided to move to Westmoreland with my son to even support and help me to, figure out who to work with, which person is a good carpenter or a builder. You understand? Because any and everybody can't build, but down in Westmoreland you're going to find a lot of scammers. Everybody, yeah man, we can do it, messy things, shitty things on your properties, and you waste your money on them because they don't know what they're doing, but just because they wanted the money, they tell you a lie that they know what they're doing when they don't do it. So I'm proud of myself for building my little cabin house, of which I put my mad uncle Mikey to live into in the meantime, because he was living into the house with me and he didn't like it. He didn't like it because I was operating, as I said, the guest house at the time, and he was supposed to help with the gardening and whatever. So I said, stay there, so, and whatever. Him not like it, him not like it. So me had to be finding work to do until him say him prefer go outside and pop out and be a nuisance. And I'm like, no, our family don't do things like that. Our family work very hard to accomplish our goals. We work together, we build things together and make it happen. Just like how, we have our Uncle Tete, he works for us. And because he works for us, mom, from his little, because his mom grew, my mom and my dad grew him. And they grow down there. So, maybe he didn't have mom and dad to grow him as an everyday basis, but he had big sister, big siblings that my mom was financing and my dad was helping to finance. So they were brought up like they were privileged children, and because they were a part of the family, that made them privileged, because all they have to do is do some work and mom pays them, right? And it is, so we know, you come around, you help out, and you get your allowance. They understand that concept. So you can't be broke because there's a lot of work around. The family owns a lot of property down there because your big sister or my mom invested down in Westmoreland to make it possible so you guys would have things to do that was positive and uplifting for the community and for themselves. So his daughter and his wife, he got married and him have a child. The daughter live on our property, same property. It can't be broken, it can't be split. So, but mom gives them property to live on. So if them save them money and can buy them own land and stuff, the house is a board cabin house. It can be lifted up and removed to go to wherever their land is if they want to do that. Nobody's pressuring them or anything, because uncle, my mom's brother, works for mom and has been working for us for years. Sweethearts, the little girl that he had grew up. Very smart girl. Educated at Little London Primary. Went to Manning's. Same age like my son, or maybe a year older. But got her 13 or 15 CXC subjects. Went to university. Did her master. Did her degree and did her master's. And she came back down. Yeah, I don't remember if she came back down from university. I think she was working at the time, got a job. But we had some materials. We put it by my uncle's house. So, me and my partner, because we resided down there, because mom was having problem with my partner in the house because of the amount of noise he was making when they're sick and need to rest, right? And we agreed, say, okay, you move out. And because me already built the cabin house down there, him said, Lord, it don't look good. Me I do it prettier. You don't do it good. Me said, well, we have to live in it, so fix it according to how you think it would be, a little bit more appropriate and whatever. And both of us, whatever monies we could work and put together, we fixed up the cabin house a little better. Yes, guys, I'm proud of my cabin house. It is something my grandpa started for the community of Little London, to make cabin houses for low-income families and everyone to live independently of each other, so nobody not have to be sleeping on the ground or catching in other people's house and get into each other's ways if they don't want to. So I'm very proud of what I did for myself, because as far as I'm concerned, some of you can't even build on yourself, not even a cabin house. You don't have nowhere to live, and you not catch up people's house, and I irritate people, and I get on people's last nerves because you not live nowhere. A rent house because you can't even own, and not even a cabin house. These cabin houses are expensive because the materials to build it sometimes run up to millions of dollars. Yeah? A one-room cabin house can cost between $300,000 and $500,000. A two-room cabin house can cost between $600,000 to $1,000,000, depending on the style of it, the fixtures, the boards you use, and all those things. So it is not cheap because you have to buy the materials plus the labor and the whole fixtures. It's gonna cost you money. So it's not cheap. So not because you see me in my wooden house, you're going to come take, set, and go on like say, me honor nobody, because you honor nobody, because you're not living in no house, you pay rent in a somebody else's house to live. So don't be mad at me. And some of you is still living in mama and papa house. At least me can take on myself to go into my little mash up hurricane blow down house, because me bitch it up with whatever board the hurricane blow down and make my house look like it lopsided like this. But it's still my house, of which I am proud of, to live into until I get the proper help to fix back my house, of which it is stressing me out and stressed me out totally this weekend, because the investigator that went to visit my site says my help is disapproved because, one, it saw pictures because the hurricane damaged both houses of which my mother owned, and if you're gonna claim for help, you have to only claim for one house. And in all the pictures that was taken, they saw the other damaged house in it. That should not disapprove my application, because the point is that you see where two houses were damaged, yeah, in the hurricane cause, and the grant that you're giving is not going to can fix back both houses, but at least we were able to apply for one of them that needed fixing back, because that's where I reside. And my mother gives me permission to live there and live into the house with my husband with no problem. And here you come now saying, because you see too much damages and you own, I was only claiming for one house, I wasn't claiming for the two houses, and I showed you the house and you came and looked, and then on top of it they said they spoke to somebody, which was a gardener that I had there, of which I got after the hurricane damage. So he doesn't even know where I live. He don't come from my Broughton era, he come from a different era, but I needed help to deal with my plants that the hurricane blew down. My farm, I had a farm all the way at the back of the property with trees and everything, and I had my flowers and my garden area that was bushing up like bush. If I was to wait from last year to now, my whole house would have been covered in bush and mess. So I had to have a gardener that comes in every week to help me clean up my home space, right? Because Rasta had to be working. Rasta is my partner, my third husband, of who had to be working in Kingston, helping me to work to get the funds together to pay the people them to help me fix up and clean up back the place until the hurricane help relief comes. And here the investigator side says him go now, and him guess who him talk to? My neighbor, my only neighbor who is close enough to talk to, because that would be there, that don't go to work or anything, is my cousin. The cousin tell me, turn around one day, tear out her batty and say, suck that. All because I asked her, the people are stealing my materials that I have here for my house. And I thought you would be able to even keep an eye on it, to say, no, it belongs to somebody. What are you guys doing? And that was all I said to the little girl, you know. And what is a little girl? It's a big woman with her master's from UWI. My uncle's daughter turned around, tear out her batty and say, you could have bright, you could have, in a pathway, you know. You could have bright, you could have want me walk fit. Who no? You must say, she living in my uncle's house, yeah? She and her mother living in my uncle's house on my mother's land, of which my mother and me, because everybody else migrates, so me and my mother work down here. I send money for pay with land taxes and all, with problems them paid for to sort out on our properties and our houses and I build this and that, yeah? And because her father worked with mom said it's okay, just put, you can put a cabin house on it, but you can remove it when you are ready, when you buy your own land, because the land can't break too much money for pay a surveyor and all them something. We don't have them kind of money to fair waste. We just one land we do with farming power, we live on it and whatever, because we're family. Right? And it's okay. Sweetheart, the picnic tear out her at me and said, stop that. I never hear nobody do that yet to me in my life, especially a university graduate. And from she do that, I said, no way, no way, I want to. When I told her father, because I know, say, then said, no, the father don't behave like that. The father would not do something like that, because we have disagreements with uncle all the time. And never him do that. Them say, no, the mother teach her to do things like that. Her mother teach her to hate, because there's no way a child can hate another family member and you grew up into that family, and that is the only family you know. And because the father was in my wedding when I was getting married to Rasta, we put she in it because it's his child and it's my cousin. So there's no way you can hate a family member. That's your bloodline. There's nothing you can do with your bloodline. Your bloodline is there for you. It's supposed to be there for you. The child must tell the man, say, the man will come to the side. Nobody and carry on with her patwa. So obviously the man must think, say, nobody no live down there or whatever. And she don't know, say, that is where we have our house, that is where me and Rasta live and everything. But because she's having a hatred and an animosity, because of whatever reason her mother must have filled up her head with against our family, because the mother is in an anger situation with us, because she must can't get the land. And you cannot get a land that was not purchased to be given away to people like that. It was purchased to give to the family members who works in the family business. And if you don't see yourself as somebody who wants to work in our family business, then you should not be living in families' lands and on the property, because you don't want to support the family. And that is what the business and the properties are there for family members, people who are working within the family organization. Yeah? So I cannot talk to that little girl anymore, or that young woman anymore, because she have a baby now and uncle is a grandpa, right? But from she does that means, say, she has showed to me that she does not want to have anything to do with me. And the man come now, and instead of the man call me to tell me, say, him talk to me, because of everybody knows says my cousin, and if my neighbor and she live on the now. So if him talk to my cousin, and my cousin said that to him, he should have called me to say, you know, say your neighbor said, because if I write an application form and you see say the land belongs to my mother and the rest of the family members, and you hear say my house is there and the Rasta is there, and me tell you this something, why would I come? Why would I drive all the way from Kingston to come and do an application and then send in to waste my time? Do you think it is easy to drive all the way from Kingston to Westmoreland a morning time and evening time to go to work? No. And that would take a toll on anybody. And for you to be so inhumane, for that man to be so inhumane or unsensible. You talk to an illiterate gardener whom I just get, and I told you I just get the man a month ago because me needed help to weed out my garden area and save some of my plants. Yeah? The man didn't even know me from Adams. Him don't even meet Rasta yet. For even know say him boss is Rasta, where live there and him a work for help weed out the plants and whatever. And I cannot believe the man could have not respond to me by telephone to say, Miss Wilkins, the people that I talked to did not acknowledge knowing you or knowing anything about it. But I know everything you can tell the people then, because them are break in and rob you. Is your neighbor them most of the time people when know your family members are breaking and rob you. So you can't even show them certain little things or where you put your certain little things because they're coming in and rob you. So if you really needed me there, I would have said, okay, let me come down and stay at my house till you come and get somebody else to facilitate, get my partner, somebody to facilitate the shop or lock up the shop and come facilitate you to do it. Because if I didn't need the help, I would not be putting myself through all that trouble. Don't you see that is bad mind or jealousy or just hatred on some people in particular, picking on me unnecessarily for whatever reason that I don't even know? Because me now go there trouble nobody. The government gets certain amount of money to give to the people who were hurt and damaged in the hurricane Melissa. And if I was not hurt and damaged, I would not be doing that. Because me not so low. Me not so desperate. I was brought up privileged. So when I work my money and pay my NHT and my NIS and whatever for years, taking it most of the time is voluntary work I do. Voluntary work that is more than what any of you out there would say Uno would do. And the God of which I serve bless me with the opportunities to live according to how he wants me to live. Because in Sisse, I am there for my people who is there for me, because it don't make sense me enough of myself to go help people who don't like a bone in a me. It don't make sense me waste my time with people who don't even care if I live or die, and if I'm asking for help I cannot get help from. I have to stick with those who is there for me, who is willing to show me a way, because that is what I am accustomed to. Me not accustomed to people that hate me for no reason. Because everywhere I go, there was always somebody to reach out to me to help me. So when I come across people who hate me, despise me, me just take for myself. Me recline into my own space. So when the young woman, if she's yielding out hate behind my back, that is her story. But common sense should have chipped in if you say educated and have common sense for no say. If the cousin is on my land, when you see the paper, you should have said on my land. How the hell she's on my land? None of must me get permission to be on the land. Because we could have easily go parish council and get the law and get the courts and the police them to remove them off of the land. So if I didn't want my uncle and his family to be there, I know what to do about it. We could have get an injunction against them being on the land. But my uncle not do what him not supposed to do. Him do him work. Him go and him answer to whatever mom asked of him to do. And whatever I ask of him to do, he tries to facilitate as best as he can. So therefore, me not have nothing with him, and he's human. Me understand he's human and he needs certain needs and he needs certain space and he want little time or whatever. And he might try, and he's a boy. Boys operate different from girls. And every boy can do the same, like how girls can multitask and do all that. So there's leniency. You understand? So me can't go say, you know, me hear people ask, how my uncle then, how my uncle live on the land. How my uncle live on the land? My uncle live on the land because we give him permission to live on the land. My mother give him permission because him I work with me for years. Him help every little thing him supposed to help and try and do whatever way he sees fit to do it. And she pay him a week time, she pay him a month time. And his payment is to live rent free. That is a part of his salary, because if he was to pay rent, it would still cost. So if him live there, him not have to pay that it right off in the book. Say, well, him a live because he's working with the business. So whoever is jealousy and bad minding my uncle, happy foolishness, because he's bloodline of my mom, which makes him bloodline of my grandmother, which makes him bloodline of me, which makes him bloodline of the whole family. Him end up being privileged because of the bloodline, and then him get up and do him like a part when he's ready to do him like a part. Right? So me can't say nothing about the little girl, the young lady, of which is being influenced by her mother or whoever else is influencing, because remember, say two parents grew a child.
A child cannot grow by themselves. And a child cannot be born by themselves. It had to be two people that bring a child into the world. And from the mother has such control over the child to tell her to hate on we who have been feeding their whole family for years from she born and before she born, and you're gonna fill your child's brain with hatred against from us. Why are we gonna go near you? Because we don't understand that. We don't understand hatred. In our family, we don't do that. We might cuss and lash out, but at the end of the day, we come to a conclusion to say, what is that all about? Where you're going so far? Demon got you. You malfunction. But not when we see you and your mother and consistently having that bickering on us as if we are doing you something when it's you take up residence in our property with my uncle and say you love him, yet you love him but you don't love the family. You love him and you don't love the family who made it possible for him to exist. So why you in it? Divorce him then and go your merry way. And take your daughter and shut your eye and say, you don't want to have nothing to do with us because you can't be living on our property, in my uncle's house, on our property, and saying, you hate us, and you wish we could just die and disappear. When it's you in our space. And are you in our space? You can't hate us in our space. You need to go if you hate us. Right? So that is the main reason why I cannot entertain that young lady, because if she could stoop so low to me, that means she has no respect for me as an elder, right? I'm her old woman cousin, right? Me have my children them long time and they're all grown and give me grand picnic on top of that. So therefore, me is an old grand woman. Of all I said to the child, the young lady was, because she wasn't a child at the time, all I said to the young lady was, then you couldn't look on the something them, and when the people them coming to thief my materials, you couldn't tell them, say, no, it belongs to somebody, don't do that, no trouble it. And instead, you and your mother responded, you could have bright, expect me for work for your suck, Miss Girl. What the hell? No. Not in my family. You're not gonna bring that into my family. Keep it out there in your family for so uno behave. My family is better than that. My family might do other disgusting things that annoys the hell out of me, might be messy and not like to clean up after themselves. Me is a cleaner. Me see my uncle I try and him I try learn. Yeah? My partner love to clean. Me have a problem with Rasta. I'm a clean freak. Right? So we don't have a problem with coping with what we can cope with. But that kind of outburst and that kind of bad mindism and everything, if you want to be like that, then be like that, but don't bring it into my space and don't throw hatred on me. And then you wonder why God curse you and now bless other, why God bless other people and now bless you, why you curse. Because of them kind of behavior, God can't bless that. That's a demon. Come out. That's a demon behavior. God bless those who work hard, love people and help people and is supportive of people. If them know say behind your back you're doing good to help people, that's how you get your blessing. If you want your blessing to flow, if you want God to help you, you help people. Just like how my mother helped people and God bless her in abundance. Me help people and God bless me in abundance. My sister help people and God bless her in abundance. Everybody, my son, my daughter, all of we. What you are doing, you fight against the very people them who make it possible for you to eat bread. And have somewhere to live. Because if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have nowhere to live, because that's our land you live on. And the child is being vicious to us and hated to us and confuse up everybody's business. What you for? What you for? Then the man I speak to Mango Man. The man is illiterate, him don't even know what clock is trying, and him try help because him system. You call me, I said call me, and I said is everything okay? And you say yeah, everything okay, and I say okay, I'm gonna get the help. And you got making people them mash me up a little more. With my house down, give me little harder work because me have to go work little harder to save the little pittance to come buy the little board them and fix back my house and the brick them and everything, because them say try make it a little bit more concrete and try fix it. I'm using them do everything, one piece of catastrophe on my house. of which I am very proud of because I know some of you don't even build a house. So I don't want nobody to disrespect my board house. Board cabin house. Yes, I built it with my money. Uno not take up, not one of you going to take up $1 million and give me to go build up a cabin house for living in. And for put my things into when me ready for cool out and relax. Eh? Not one of them me know out there is going to give me that. And me work so hard and save me little pittance, borrow me little bank money and pay them little by little and fix up me little cabin house and see you know that they are bad mind me over it. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? And some of them needs to be shamed down yourself. Some of them need to be shamed on yourself because when hardworking people like me work hard and save my money and buy my materials and build it, me never steal nothing. Some of you have man, I have to beg man full money. Me not beg man for me money. Me work hard. If me deal with the man, me expect him to give me money. But me not walk on the street and rob them and pick them and broke in a people's house. And I take with them things and I sell it behind them back. I don't do that. That's what me hear some of you are doing. You don't need to stop and say some prayers and ask God to forgive you and help you to be better people so He can bless you too. You don't want blessing. What the heck? What is that? So I had to pray. I have to let it out because I was so stressed when I hear what is happening. To them something there for say me have to go do this all over again and me have to do this all over. Me under so much pressure already trying to get things back up and setting up this and setting up the shop so other people can eat bread. People who is around trying to help me out and trying to help themselves out because the hurricane have really messed up a lot of people business and a lot of people, and I'm glad for the opportunity of me utilizing them to do certain things and stuff where them can get a little something. And when I don't stress for me because of not having bad mind, don't bad mind me. Go look somebody else a bad mind or get up and go do something so you can get something too. Because if I did sleep morning, noon and night and don't get up and go to work, I wouldn't have nothing to come do with Uno. I wouldn't get nothing to come give Uno and stuff. So you need to do something too. Think about it. Buy and sell something. So create, build, make. My father used to build furnitures. Make furnitures, make cushions, make pillows, make drapes. What the heck? Why is it that they can't figure it out and then start and waste time and pick on people when they see people that work hard and put together? I see them something I do all this life, you know. Me a fair share say I don't do nothing different, nothing better. It's the same thing I'm doing from I'm a child, same thing I see my mother do, me come and take over. And follow in her footsteps and follow and do what she tell me to do. To earn me little pittance, for buy me little this and me buy me little that, feed me little self. Put little gas in my car and do the little things. Man. It's the same thing. So what is so hard for Uno? Why Uno can't have that discipline? Uno distracted, Uno sit down and watch other people and then I fret over what they're doing and want it to. And you can't get it if you not do something to get it. You have to work, do a job, and then now you invest your money and then it turn over and then you go bank or borrow the money now and then you can go buy it. Because if you not do that, you can't get it. So when them ready, government have houses I sell, NHT have houses I sell. You can go, when you work certain years, you have to put in at least a good 10 years. And then, you know, when you contribute them, you go to them now and them give you funds to buy a house and build a house or do whatever. It's straightforward. So don't go picking on me. I tell you how we go. I tell you how we go over. So I don't know. I don't know what else to do. But this is how I have to lighten my load. I have to share it to Facebook because me not have nobody to talk to, and when me talk to me can't talk to my partner because if me talk to my partner, him think I am overwhelmed and him don't know how to help me with that situation. So him get very aggressive because him say when I speak in patois, of which supposed to be my natural language, because him not accustomed to it, me speaking in patois because me always speak proper English. Him say from the time he knew me, when he met me, I was such a delicate, gentle person. And now him see me today, and me have a tree of growth on my face, the way I'm stressed, and my voice is so loud. And when I'm ready, I drop into my patois language, and me just start give them peace of the Jamaican dialect and everything. And it just scares him. And I said, well, all of you all scare me too. If it didn't scare me, I wouldn't have to learn how to do it. I'm a Libran. And that's how Librans go. We are machines. We're not an animal. We're not going to just fall over and play dead. We're going to get up and be a scale and bring justice to the table. Work out each thing, find a balance, rationalize it, and say, all right, time to put the work into it, because we realize we have to get tough now. We have to get stronger. Because if we get weak and fall apart, everything fall apart. Especially when you have worked so hard to put things together, you know, create a business, have workers, you have responsibilities, you have children plus grandchildren looking up to you to see how you're gonna cope. Plus you have a mother like mine looking up to me to see how you're gonna cope. Because according to her, I am going down, Chrissy, I'm dying, I'm gonna die and leave you guys, and you guys are so fool. You guys are big idiots, you're not gonna can manage. So therefore, I can't be fool. I have to be strong, I have to be tough, I have to find solutions, and I have to find a way. So I have to motivate you guys now. Stop picking on me. I'm having it hard already trying to put it together and doing it. I'm sharing the word with you. If you guys would listen and try and understand. If you can't understand what I'm saying, then I speak part where you say I'm being aggressive. I'm just trying to get across to you with your own language, of which I feel you guys would understand, because them said that's the first language of everybody in Jamaica. Jamaican, girl and boy and picnic. Bumbleclat and rasclat peoples. Yeah? So therefore, you're supposed to understand when I'm speaking to say, okay, get it together, because we're the humans that have it to do. And if you don't work as a team, there's no way it can come out. And money is the main aim. So therefore, those with the money, you have to go embrace them, because it's them going to have to pay you. It don't make sense. You go work and you're not getting up here and you're dead for hungry, and then you're hungry and you can't find no food, not even no food to eat. So you have to go where you know when you work, you can't even buy a lunch when you're finished. It don't make sense. You go work and you can't even get a lunch to eat. The people them supposed to can give you a lunch if them can't pay you. You understand? If them not have no money to pay you, at least you're supposed to can get a cup of tea from them or a cup of soup from them. It's still money that money had to make the soup. Money had to buy the ingredients to make the soup to give you. You understand? So there is a way to survive, even, and then later on when them get the money, them will pay you. But you can't sit down there and say you stop business, you stop productivity because no money now run. If you stop the productivity because money now run, then when money for run, you're not gonna get none anyway, because you never did anything to deserve to get none. So the person who went and did something now will always get. So the trick of the game is go do something, because every little add up to make something. So if you get little bit better than nothing at all, because them can give you some today and then tomorrow later on them give you the balance. Right? It's still money. And them will always be calling you back to do a job, especially if you did it good. If you not do it good, them now bother with you again. Right? So I had to pour that out, because I was just so disappointed and hurt this morning to know that, you know, my application have to be done over because of, you know, the nonsensical behavior of the people in my community, my neighborhood, and my neighbors and my family members and my cousin, because of them jealousies and them hatreds and them bad minds and whatever. It stresses me out to make me have to work harder. And, you know, they know that I have been down there all these years doing my work in the community, and I live down where I live, and the house that I built, it's me who built it from scratch to where it is, and hurricane done me, and me have to start all over again. And I can't believe, said, you know, they bad mind me to the sense to say, no, disapprove and foolishness. No, that's too much bad mind. You need to stop it. You need to stop it. Stop picking on me. Stop doing that, because then when I start talking now, they say, Lord, she chat too much. She chat too much, but I have to talk. I have to talk. Because now you're not going to talk to an illiterate gardener, and instead of you double check whatever you don't understand what the gardener tell you, You take it to heart and say just the poor man, not the man don't know nothing. So if you never understand it, when you talk to my illiterate man, I never left the man here to start, you know. The man say you tried, the man is trying to call me. And I wasn't getting through. So obviously I must have been in the bank or in a meeting with somebody or somewhere where I couldn't get through. But when I called you, you said everything was okay. Me said, did you see where my house part blow down and everything, all my stove and my fridge and everything mash up? Everything mash up down there, so hurricane done me. And the man said, okay, me couldn't believe, say, you guys said the man tell you, say, nobody no live there. What the hell? But obviously nobody can live there after hurricane, because when hurricane hit, nobody couldn't live at the place, and if the house blow down and the roof gone, how anybody going to live there in a blow down house? My husband have to pay rent somewhere else when he come back Kingston, because we can't go down there. Or we have to go hotel or somewhere, because the place, the roof, not tan good. We had me bitch it back up, and when him come, him have the time for do all that on a robot, because we have to get back to work and do all of that. And I can't believe on a heart moving to do something like that. And then when you come in, I wonder why people can't feel sorry for you, because of them kind of something. Because me would afraid if me say do that to me, or to even other people, not even to me alone, but to other people too, because when they're not, some people now, you know, go hear it, because I'm mix with people, so I'm not going to hear all them little things want to do. But for do that to me, and them never son have heart, that is not something that somebody with a loving heart do. That is something like where Janae Ashley husband do her pa Africa Zanzibar. Say I love her and go kill her down at Zanzibar. For whatever reason. I'm afraid I don't know. They make me scared. They terrorize me because they make me feel like there's no love out there for humanity. And people are to be afraid because they might target people for rob them, thief them, and kill them. After you work so hard to save your money to invest it wisely, somebody is targeting you to take it from. That's not nice. That's not a nice feeling. That's not a nice thought. And to know what we're going through, especially a Rasta. Somebody who is having life harder than normal Babylon system people, because the Babylon system works for them, because that's how we train and we accept the Babylon system teaching and everything, so it's supposed to work for us. A Rastafarian opposes it, and therefore if he is living opposition to it, he might have a harder time, because then whatever he's doing, other people now can't understand on how to help. So when I explain out to him, say, if God brought me to you, and according to him sometime, what he said the other day, he said today, I am not caring for him as I should. So I said, you tell me how to care for you, because the God of which I serve, my God, brought you to me. And if God brought you to me through my prayers that I pray, and show me how to deal with you, and you don't like how I deal with you, then that means my God is failing me. Because I asked my God to show me how to love you and to care for you, because I understand that you are different than the rest of us into the world, because you're a Bobo Shanti while I am a Babylon Catholic girl, and the other people are Christians and Catholic, and they're trying to accommodate because they know that we're trying to be good people, loving everybody, caring for everybody, helpful for everybody. And if you are of a totally different culture and religion or whatever it is, Babylon system and belief system, it's gonna be testy. But my God shows me and encourages me on how to live this life, because that is who I pray to and ask to show me the way. And if him show me the way on what to do, and me I do it, and it is still not pleasing to people, that means my God I fail me. My God I fail me. And if my God I fail me in when I call on to him to do certain work for me, then I have nothing to preach and testify to say my God is good to me, because look what I have accomplished by believing in him and having the faith that he will help me to overcome all these challenges that I am being faced with and that I get to have to deal with. Because them say nothing no bigger than God. And if nothing no bigger than God, God is the biggest of all. So God is supposed to show me how to continue living this life successfully. And I can't believe some of these things that I am being faced with is making me have to question if my God is working or not. Because look there now, look what, well, me that say demon or Satan come in my life now for come and fast with me to make me have to a question, is there a God that really is going to fail me in whatever service I am supposed to be giving to my peoples? Because so far, all weekend, miracles have been happening. I have witnessed miracle into certain places. I went into Flow and saw a miracle. I went into the square and see a miracle at my shop. You understand? I went over to my house and experienced a miracle. So therefore, miracles were happening around me all the time. So therefore, if what it is that I am called to do is, and I am doing it and it is still not working in my favor, then that means my God failing me then. Him not answer my prayer. Don't it? Satan a triumph, Satan a win, Satan a run things because I am working and doing as he's guiding me and showing me what to do. So that's what I said. I said, so you tell me then what it is that we're doing wrong. That if you say I'm not caring for you as you want me to, and then he said, you know, come to think of it, nah, you're okay. You're okay. Because I don't think I'm doing nothing wrong. Because if I know I'm doing something wrong, I don't know how my conscience will, because I have a conscience and I like to sleep. When me I sleep at night time, me sleep so good. Me sleep that sometimes the people them say, Lord, if the world was coming to an end, you wouldn't even know. The way how I sleep comfortable at night time. Because me not put nothing upon my head, me not fill myself with hatred. And any incidents that happen to me, me know say I just Satan and him demon and try test my patience. So put that behind me because me now push myself into them type of situation and trying to take myself out of it. Me stick to myself. If me see where too much aggression is, I try to avoid it and lessen it as much as possible. Because it takes two to tango. Right? And if some flame is being lit and you go on a blow and it will escalate. So you have to know when you're ready, take yourself away from certain situations. Remove yourself. You're too much, alright, me go and so you go so. We not belong in the same space. And it done this so. Right? So I just had to let off my steam and say my pittance and get myself clear before me do my bed. But that's a good 1 hour chat I did with you guys. And hope you all could have a wonderful night now. Because we're deserving on it. It's 8 o'clock. So I'm going to take my shower and go to bed. Yeah? Because tomorrow is another day and we got work to do. So you're gonna live it. Hi, cuz. So you're looking in. I give you a love heart. Okay? Vanessa Thompson. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're good. So later, guys. You take care now. Bye-bye. I'm off.